Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, bonjour to this train wreck of a vlog called the Time Well Wasted podcast. Today, I have a very, very old friend, a guy I probably met 20 years ago, and one of the nicest person I know. He's a class act gentleman, also a Turkish friend. Maybe we'll make him speak Turkish. A guy I met at my old studio back in the days. There was two, I-Fi Away and Resident Studio Works, with you and Craig.
Craig, yes.
One of the nicest guy and the coolest flamenco guitar player I know. Actually, probably one of the few people that actually talented enough to play that stuff. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, mesdames et messieurs, Juneyt. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
This guy, usually I always ask my guests, like, what do you want for drinks? Beer, liquor, whatever. But today it's going to be coffee. And I tried to make the Turkish coffee because I did learn, but I had to use a French percolator because I don't have the Turkish way of making it. But he's liking the coffee, so I'm happy.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So here we are, 20 years later in my living room. You and I saw each other a few times. Last time we saw each other was a big party.
Big party, yes.
At your place. And you and I shared a drink from Turkey called raku. And that thing, anyways, folks, you got to try it because I would not do it justice, but classic, traditional Turkish drink.
Every appetizer has that rakı in it.
Oh. I never thought of cooking with that, actually. That'd be interesting. So people can, like chicken à la king, which is a French dish. It's chicken cooked in vodka. You could do vodka, you could do raku and chicken.
That would be amazing.
I have to try that, actually.
They should marinate it like that.
Maybe you and I start a vlog, for a podcast, a cooking vlog about cooking with raku 101 with Juneyt.
That would be amazing, yeah.
We should try it.
And we have a kitchen because one of my best friends owns the Meat Point, the Turkish restaurant. We can go and use their kitchen.
Okay, you and I should...
They have a really nice open concept kitchen.
Done.
Perfect.
We can all be sick together on camera.
That's it.
All right, so I'll ask you some questions. We'll start easy for you.
Okay.
When and why did you start playing? And what is your instrument of choice?
I was 18 years old, a little over 18, maybe 18 and a half years old. And when I started, it was kind of a classic story of I started for the girls, of course. There was a guitar player in our city who used to perform at a place called, I think it was Baron. It was like a nice bar. And back in the day, bars were open in Turkey for super late, and pretty much they never
closed.
Ontario.
Unlike
Ontario. Now, unfortunately, because of the person we have in Turkey, our leader is not the most progressive leader per se.
Wait, I want to make sure you can go back home because I know some people that are no longer welcome in the country.
Yeah, I don't think I am either.
You're a deserter.
I'm definitely. I love my country with all my heart and
such a rich culture too.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was really blessed to be introduced through the Turkish culture with Nahide. So hi Nahide.
Nahide, yeah, Nahide.
Baldiz. Ayşe.
Baldiz Ayşe. She's getting married tomorrow.
Ayşe, yes.
That's so cool.
Congratulations to
İsmet, yeah. They're awesome people. And my cousin Günhan and Alihan are playing at their wedding.
Really?
I was supposed to, but unfortunately, the wedding got postponed. So
where are they getting married?
That's a good question.
In town or somewhere else?
In town, but I'm not sure exactly where.
I should go crash that wedding.
I'm
joking. So you started playing guitar, I'm assuming?
Yeah, guitar was the first choice, yeah. But I played percussion before for years. And
you sing as well.
I do sing, yeah. I do sing. And that came afterwards. And
there's something... Juneyt is very modest. I know I'll brag for you because you won't, but Juneyt actually owned the guitar from Kirk Hammett from Metallica, I think.
Yes.
I'm assuming you don't have that guitar anymore, do you?
I still do, yeah.
You do.
I still do. Wow. I have all my collection. I
That's
have to.
cool.
Yeah. That's why I'm broke, probably. Buying collection guitars.
Here's a logic question for you. Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs? They don't sell hot dogs.
They don't?
Why do you think they don't sell hot dogs? They just sell burgers and breakfast stuff.
That's a good question. I wouldn't know. I would say something, but I don't think it will be appropriate.
Say in Turkish.
Why?
I'm just curious.
That's an interesting thing.
How
That's
about this? When you go to the movie theater, which armrest is yours? The left one or the right one?
I think I don't use none of them
Oh.
because I always let the other persons.
My guest last night said, man, they're both mine. She is so funny.
I usually try to always, not use so that the other person can use it.
Because you're a gentleman. See, folks, that's what I meant. The guy is such a nice guy. He'll get shoulder cramps to make sure other people around him are comfortable. Do they have the word dictionary in the dictionary, you think?
Dictionary, I think so.
Yeah?
I guarantee you they do.
Oh, you sound so sure.
Because I looked it up one time. That was quite interesting to me.
How about this? What was the very first song you learned to play
First
from
song?
beginning to the end? The one song that you like, one day I'm going to learn this song. I'm going to play it all.
There's two songs I learned at the same time. One of them was the Turkish song is called Güllerin içinden. It means through the roses, through the rose fields, pretty much. It's almost like strawberry fields. Now that I think about it, it's by MFO. That's the trio that played, very famous trio from Turkey, and it was a great song. That's one of them I learned, and then the same time I was learning "Sailing" by Rod Stewart.
Oh, interesting.
That's a really nice song.
It's a catchy song, too.
Yeah, and for some reason it was always in my mind. I loved Rod Stewart. I freaking love the guy.
Well, he is Rod Stewart. There's no other like him.
100%.
There's artists that like they're clones or they're influenced by, but Rod Stewart is Rod Stewart.
Yeah, and he had like a throat cancer, and they had to remove, and that's why he had the raspy voice apparently. Yeah, I was reading.
Very cool voice.
Very cool.
Unique.
Voice.
Very unique. Is your family musical? Like, do you have siblings that play, or your parents? Or?
My sister is a great. She plays alto saxophone, and she's
Cool.
really good at it. She hasn't picked it up in a while because I have her saxophone.
Oh.
I dabbled at home, but she's a really good one. She's a phenomenal singer as well. And
What's her name?
Jada.
You can look at the camera and say hi.
Hi, Jada. And I'm very, very proud of my sister. She's a genius. Like, oh my goodness. And my mom is another. She's not a singer or no musical talent at all, but she's a very supportive person. She's a music lover. She loves music, and she always supports both of us.
That's
And
good.
yeah, my sister is that. My father too, but I don't talk to my father, so he has a great voice, phenomenal voice as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is your sister here, or she's
She's
back home?
she lives in Fergus.
Oh, Fergus.
Yeah, Laura, yeah.
That's a very artsy music. Like, it's
100%.
a great vibe, little town for sure.
Yeah. She still has like we lived together, and then she moved in with together with her boyfriend, and she still comes and stays at my place,
Cool.
that's her place too, so.
Very cool. Here's another logic question for you. If vampires cannot see the reflection in the mirror,
Okay.
how is their hair always so perfectly placed, like impeccable?
Sorry?
Vampires cannot see the
Vampires,
reflection in the mirror, so they can't do their own hair because they can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Why and how come their hair is so perfect, you think?
That's an interesting question. I think it's like, when you cut the vampire, it kind
Yeah.
of forms back into its own shape. That's
Oh.
probably how their hair is.
Oh, it's like rejuvenate, magical,
The same
superpower.
always same way.
That's, I've asked this question probably 15 times. This is the first time I hear this answer. This is great.
Thank you.
This is great. How about this? Since bread is square, why is meat rounded? Why don't they make a perfectly round or perfectly square meat for your sandwiches?
Why they don't make it?
Well, there's some you can buy that are square, but very, very few. Most of them are all circular.
All circular. I have a feeling that because the people who make the burgers and meats, they believe in the theory, Tesla's theory of everything is 369. Everything is round. Everything, the code of the universe
Sure.
is 314. They believe in that. That's why they make it that way.
There we go. Again, such a determined answer. I like that.
I'm trying to sound profound, but I'm not.
There's no right or wrong answer. This is for the YouTube folks and the Facebook folks. How about this? Which famous musician do you like? Which famous musician do you like, and why?
I really, my famous musician crush has always been to Paco de Lucia. Just because he basically shows people the limits that you can push yourself to. And that comes from hard work. I've always believed in people who are like immensely, not just talented, but also talented is a God-given gift.
Yeah.
But if you don't work at it and just sit on your talent simply, just because you're talented, that means that you're just a lazy, talented person.
Well said.
You know,
Well said.
that's the reason why I love Paco, because he's immensely talented, but he worked so hard to bring himself to where he is. And he became a bridge between regular people who just listen to pop music to love flamenco. And he's the reason why flamenco became immensely popular in the at the end of 70s to middle of 80s. And
So would you consider the Gypsy Kings flamenco or not really?
Gypsy Kings is
It's like a
rumba,
Okay.
but Gypsy Kings actually,
Because I think they helped that movement a little bit because they've
Because
exploded
of
in the
Paco.
90s. Okay, because of Paco. Okay.
because of Paco, because Tonino Baliardo is the guitar player. His idol was Paco,
Oh,
and he was an actual flamenco guitar player. Tonino, the
Really?
guy who plays all the guitar solos in the,
cool.
and he actually the Gypsy Kings are families, bunch
Right.
of families. And funny thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but they are French. They're not Spanish.
I was just say Gypsy King. I don't know about Ontario, but Gypsy King were big in Quebec. Like
They are huge.
they were selling stadiums. Here, maybe they could do Massey Hall, but in Quebec it was a stadium.
Well,
Like 40,000 people.
100%. I've been to many concerts of Gypsy Kings, and they did influence a lot of musicians, but they actually belong. They're Gitanos, like they're gypsies, but they belong to the city in right between Spain and French, but it belongs to France, so they are French.
Okay.
And they're I used to have a French girlfriend long time ago, and she used to tell me that Gypsy Kings Spanish is not really fully Spanish. Their accents are weird, she said. 'Cause
Yeah.
she spoke both languages fluently. And she would say that they have a lot of weird, like when they say certain words in French, they have Spanish. They have French influence accents in
Yeah.
their Spanish.
Yeah.
She used to say.
There's a region in France called Alsace, and that little region was taken by Germany like 3 or 4 times for the last, I don't know, 100 years. And the people there don't really speak French and don't really speak German or Low German. They have their own dialect because
Yes.
it's like a bastardized version of both
languages, yeah.
But it's cute to hear. Like it's singing. It's very melodic. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. So yeah, if you guys don't have anything to do, just YouTube search Alsace speech or whatever. It's entertaining.
It is a quite an interesting thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, almost like the Mennonites here that, they're not from Pennsylvania. They're from Lower Ontario, let's say.
Yeah.
Their Low German is a lot different than people in Pennsylvania, let's say. Or
Yeah, they always also say that their German sounds a lot like the Eastern Germany before the wall was taken down.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but I have a feeling that they kind of like have the same kind of like background. And if you realize that they're kind of like social mannerisms are similar to Eastern Germany type Germans, apparently.
Interesting.
I read it somewhere long time ago.
I see them at the grocery store near here or Walmart, and I was trying to understand if I can at least understand one word, but I cannot. It's like the Hank Hill, Texas of Low
Same here. I
German.
can't
Like
understand their German. Yeah.
how about this? In your humble opinion, Juneyt, can you cry underwater? If you put your head underwater, can you cry underwater?
Cry?
I know real men don't cry, but that's okay.
I always cry. So I think even if it is impossible, I'll still be able to do that. But here's the thing. My tears would just be a drop in an ocean.
I thought you cried gold flakes.
Me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll take that as a compliment.
It sure is, sir. It sure is. Who was your first teacher, like music teacher, or a teacher that was a great influence on you as a kid that made an impact in your life?
My teacher.
Could be music, it could be history, it could be math. Who knows?
That's a good question. I don't have a my teacher would have been like definitely my grandfather.
Very
As
cool.
a teacher, as a life teacher, and he's a genius, and he introduced me to a lot of like
What was his name?
Faik.
Mike.
Faik.
That almost sounds German, actually.
I know, right?
No insult, man. Here, folks.
He was a huge. He introduced me to a lot of big names that influenced me in my life, and they're actually idols in my life. And which one of them was Ataturk, and the other one is Nikola Tesla. And yeah,
Of course.
he got. I got a lot of great things I learned from him. He was a marble masonry.
Wow.
Mason, yeah, marble mason. And
That's patience and
yeah, and I was
hard work.
11 years old when I was a apprentice with him.
No
Since
kidding.
11 years old, yeah, I did a lot of stuff with him, and all my cousins are my uncle's daughters, 3 daughters.
Yeah.
They are incredible masons, incredible. They can carve with their hands, like it's just mind
that's
blowing.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen actually sometimes through YouTube Vortex. I see this stuff. I'm like, wow, like, what am I good at? Not much, but these guys are pretty darn good.
Oh, you're good at it. A lot of things, I think.
Well, thank you, but
I really love, like, your apartment actually shows your character. It's just such an
this is
elegant
a
place.
painting that Nahida did for my birthday, by the way.
That
That's
is,
me
I
and
know.
my dog,
I know.
and that's another one that she gave me for my birthday or Christmas of me and my mom.
That
And
is
she,
so cool.
She does not do commission work, but for my birthday, she's like, ah. So thank you, Nahide. They're still on my wall. They will never go away.
Well, you have a very elegant place.
Oh,
I love it.
You're so kind to me.
No,
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
genuinely saying that. It's a very elegant. It shows your personality. And your,
No, even my friend yesterday, I interviewed the first girl for this vlog yesterday. She's like, Seb, I did not picture your place like this. You're so organized and neat. I'm like, sorry? Like, I mean, I know it's a compliment, but I wonder what people really think I live like.
a lot of people want to be that. And a lot
Well-
of people can't be that because they don't have the patience or they don't have the skills. And 90% of the people I know are hoarders.
Right.
And that comes from subconscious not having things
Oh, exactly.
back home, you know.
Well, you've not seen my bedroom and my guitars yet, but I do hoard some things, but it's years and years of collecting through the studio and stuff.
Totally.
Let me ask you this. Other than the time you met me and Irv at the studio for the first time, 18, 19 years ago, what are your fondest musical memories? Could be concert, could be meeting Kirk, it could be meaning
Oh,
fondest
my
musical
fondest
memory.
memory is in the funny thing is August 9th, 2019 was one of the best days of my life because I had the privilege to open for Santana
Oh,
and Doobie Brothers at what was that? It used to be it's Budweiser stage now.
okay.
I think it's Molson Amphitheater.
So it's a big venue.
Yeah, it's a huge venue. There's I think 25,000 people were there, and that was one of the best moments. And the funny thing is, that was the moment of my life that my first concert in Canada was August 9th. I
No
think,
way.
Yeah, 20 somewhat years ago was Santana's concert at that exact the same stage.
Wow.
And 20 years I think, or 25 years later, on that same stage, I opened for him. That was like the
Did you get to talk to him?
no, not
No,
him.
no.
And also another phenomenal moment was unforgettable was when I worked with Leona Boyd, and we practiced at her place in Toronto, and that day was
No kidding. I didn't even
was
know
incredible.
you. Wow.
Yeah, that was amazing because she's a brilliant musician, and that day was also incredible too. Those
Very
are like
cool.
very very incredible moments in my life. Very very cool moments.
Well, thanks for sharing. That's
Thank you.
great. So, not with all the respect in the world, and God knows I do have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
If you were to commit a mistake while playing, how do you deal with it, mentally or physically? What is your thought process? Are you just keep playing? How do you deal with mistakes? And also, if you want to give a newer player, give him your advice on how to deal with these hiccups.
People will realize when you make a mistake, even if you don't think that they know, they know. And when you do that, I always laugh at myself,
Good.
because if you laugh at yourself, you don't give them a chance to laugh at you.
Oh,
That way, you that kind of like the punch,
interesting.
it won't be that hard. You're like, you laugh at yourself, and that's what I do. And I genuinely laugh at myself, and people laugh at that whole thing because I'm laughing, and it all becomes like a joke.
So, with your answer, if it be me playing, I would not be playing. I'd just be laughing on stage because I screw up all the time. It'd be like a stand-up comedy of Seb
It's
trying
like a routine.
That's a great answer, though.
Thank you.
Do you still get nervous? So, for instance, August 9th, 2018, I think you said?
19.
2019. Were you nervous?
Oh, yeah. Immensely. Because I think it was 19. Yeah, 2019. I was very nervous. I get nervous even when I'm playing small shows. Like,
Okay.
I've been playing some regular shows in town for 13, 14 years, every week.
Yeah.
And literally every day I go there, I am the same nervous. And I know the songs like back on my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
I can just close my eyes and dream about them, and my fingers would go the same spot. I still get insanely nervous because if you're not nervous and if you lose that passion, it becomes a job. And the minute what you do, what you love to do, becomes a job, you
Yeah.
shouldn't do it anymore.
Like you said, the Turkish person that influenced you, you're saying this guy keeps pushing himself to be better and better.
Yeah.
He's not being lazy with his talent.
100%. Paco
Comes
was,
back
yeah,
to that, yeah.
Paco de Lucia. He's he would never have done it. And
He's not Turkish. He's
Spanish.
Spanish. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah.
But you're right. It's like you're absolutely right on that. The minute you stopped being excited about what you do, and this is kind of like also you could take this as a suggestion or a life advice, if you may, that you only live 81 years in your life. An average person lives 81 years,
Right.
and you sleep about 27 years of your
Yeah,
life.
no kidding.
And
It's
you
true.
literally sleep 27 years, and you work 27 years on top of that for other people. That's 54 years of your life is gone.
Yeah.
And the rest of the remaining of your life is basically you deal with diseases for 10 years. You only have like 5-6 years at the end for yourself only.
Yeah.
And if you turn your job, that 8 hours a day you work for other person, which is 27 years, if you take that time for yourself, meaning you find a job that you love to do for yourself, you gain 27 years of your life back. The minute that job becomes a burden, then
Right.
you're still working against for your pleasure.
That is a beautiful way of seeing this. I never really thought about it that way. Wow.
I promise you, the minute you change your attitude towards work and make it love instead of work, everything changes. Your life expectancy changes because stress is our number
Right,
one
right,
number one
right.
thing.
Right.
like number one enemy.
Totally. Great answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Logic question for you.
Okay.
Second last one of the. Why don't you ever see baby pigeons? Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
I have never seen a baby pigeon. Maybe the pigeons are they're current millennial parents, like helicopter parenting. They're probably helicopter parenting. They're like not letting them go do anything. Because back when I was growing up, I was definitely not a little baby pigeon. My mom would be like, yeah, go out. I would leave home at 6 a.m. in the morning, soccer, and I would come covered in crap. I would
Yeah.
literally look like completely different person,
Yeah.
dirty at 7 p.m. at night. I would come home. That's probably exactly opposite of a pigeon parenting.
Right. Right. Right.
Maybe pigeons are helicopter parents.
Second last question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your great last revelation, whether it's about a music you discovered, or a song, or an artist, or a poem, or last great revelation. Could be about life, or even a cooking recipe. I don't know.
That's a good question. The major revelation that I've had is there's two of them actually. One of them, do not ever become angry, because I made a mistake in my life and I've never admitted this, but I was cornered at this some like this happened just recently actually.
Really?
Not recent, but like 3 years back. I was confronted, physically confronted, and I defended myself. But that reaction of mine came with anger,
Okay.
and that only hurt me. Hurt me in different ways. Meaning, like it affected my life, my psyche, my whole.
Just a piece of his soul because
Yes.
you reacted that way. Yes.
Yeah. So the revelation that I had was the philosophy I've always had, I've forgotten and I put it aside, and then I realized that I should never do that again, which is anger is a poison you drink and you wait for the other person to die.
Right.
The minute you always keep that in mind, when you're angry, don't be angry, because it's a poison. It literally toxic. It is a toxic that you drink and you wait for the other person to die. So when you're angry, it's simple. Stay away, back out, go. And then later on you'll be like, oh, I'm glad I did that.
No kidding.
That was a huge revelation for me because I confronted it, and I was successful at the end, but it didn't end that well for me because it psychologically affected
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But I was on the right. Doesn't matter. You can never act with anger. That's one of the major revelations that I had.
I think there's a old song about that too. Don't look back in anger, or don't
That's it. Yeah.
something like
Oasis.
that. Kind of.
Don't look back in anger. Yeah. I never actually pay attention to the lyrics. I will next time I play it.
Yeah, same here actually. Oh, you play it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Of your mind. That's a good song. And the second one, second revelation is like, don't ever put yourself a limit. Meaning, you have a very limited life, and
Yeah.
whatever you are good at, the minute you say, I am the best at this thing, that's when you put yourself a ceiling, which means that your ceiling that's it, that's your top. And the minute you put yourself a ceiling, then sky is the limit, goes out of the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
So always learn. Just tell yourself, I'm never the best at it. That's honestly.
There's a great drummer, Neil Peart from Rush.
Oh, I love it.
He quit playing to go study with Buddy Rich. He was already at the top of his game. And he's like, you know what? I want to master match grip, or I know what it is in French. Rudimental holding the stick.
Yeah.
Which is like this versus this. Anyways, for the guy to lead the top of his game to go learn with Buddy Rich, and Buddy Rich is not the easiest person to be teaching you. And he's just like, he never believed he was at the top of his game. Like he Great drummer. That's his heart.
That's actually that reminds me of what's his name? Tiger Woods.
Yeah, exactly.
He changed his grip. He changed his swing. Everything for many times. He broke his he broke everything. He was back and
Yeah.
fused and still became a champion. That's another guy that I forgot to mention. Paco and Tiger. Absolutely my favorite human beings.
Very cool. One last question for you, sir.
Uh-huh.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? I know you have a good answer for this.
That's a great question. I would say the dinosaurs
But so okay, the chicken dinosaur then.
because
It is a
dinosaurs-
prehistoric bird.
Yeah, because apparently chicken is the only leftover ancestor of.
Crocodiles are pretty ancient too, I think.
Yeah.
And alligator are one crocodile alligators. I'm not sure which one.
They are definitely.
Well, there you go, folks. This fine gentleman in my living room with wisdom from Turkey to Spain to Waterloo, Ontario to Toronto, Budweiser stage. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so
And-
much.
Stay tuned, folks, because I think him and I go do a cooking show with cooked chicken and raku, I think.
That'll be beautiful.
Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Seb.
Take care, folks. Awesome.
Thank you, brother.
That is great.
Oh, this is a good coffee. Oh,
It's some Italian coffee I picked up